Is it just me or is it really cold outside right now? Whoo, boy, it's a little bit chilly. Just like the Ducks special teams. We'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll talk about some debuts on today's Locked On Anaheim Ducks.
You're Locked On Ducks, your daily podcast on the Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome everyone to Locked On Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. I'm your host, JD Hernandez. I've been covering hockey for over a decade, and today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline, where the game starts. On today's episode, we're going to talk about some debuts happening tonight and just the Ducks lineups in general, among other things. So let's get right into it. The Ducks play the Sharks tonight at the Pond. It's going to be one of those games, folks, because there are some indications that the Ducks are going to go 11-7 again. Why is that? Well, look who's coming back. John Klingberg. Okay, Klingberg has been less than stellar this season. Defensively, we knew he wasn't going to be like the game changer. I don't think anybody expected the defense to be that subpar. So Klingberg is back, meaning that the Ducks will likely go 7 defensemen on this game. Also making his Ducks debut is Jayson Megna, Jayson Megna. The former Colorado Eagles captain will be on a line with Strome and Vatrano. Ooh, that's a tough one. Look, I like Frank Vatrano a lot. I think he was really good in New York, and he still had a little bit of trouble finding his spot on this team. Strome, on the other hand, Strome had a very good game last game. I mean, heck, the overtime winning goal, damn, that was a fun one. I'll give you this. That game on Tuesday was fun. That 2-on-1 was just kind of unexpected. And how about that game-winning goal in overtime? Yeah, I'm channeling Rick Jenneret just a little bit with that. But, man, what a sweet, sweet overtime goal that was. Just right through the pipe. Ryan Strome. Mwah, chef's kiss. So, off of that game, I have a little bit more hope for Ryan Strome on this one. And to put Jayson Megna on that line, that's great and all, but the Ducks have a Mason McTavish right there. They're not going to put McTavish on that line. They're not going to put him on center. I still don't know what exactly the Ducks' plans are with Mason McTavish in general. No, I don't know. Nobody really knows what's going on there. But McTavish should be on that third or fourth line. We will see when the lineups come out. Oh, in a few hours. Yeah, we'll see. But to put Jayson Megna on that second line, that one's a little bit unexpected. On the other side, this is where I get a little bit worried, because we have a goalie making his first NHL start. Eetu Makiniemi. Yeah, I would say some folks should be familiar with Eetu Makiniemi. Yeah, oh gosh, I don't even know how else to describe him, except he can be pretty fast. He's got a good frame, good mechanics. Just watch this happen, where he makes his first career NHL start and he gets a shutout. I mean, watch that happen, because of course that would happen to the Anaheim Ducks. Am I predicting that's going to happen? Maybe. But, you know, he's done well with the Barracuda this season. Gulls fans should be familiar with his work with San Jose Barracuda. He's done all right. 258 goals against, 918 save percentage. He's done well. He's won the majority of his games. Yeah. So, yeah, just watch that happen, folks. Last season, he was on the Chicago Wolves. And I got just a slight bit of intel from Sarah Avampado about Makiniemi. And Sarah had this to say. He's got some very fast hands, very good on the glove side. Stick side is also above average, but the glove side is where his strength is at. So if you're the Ducks, you've got to go stick side and you've got to go high stick side. That's maybe the only fault. He is an athletic goalie. You know, again, a 6'1", 6'2" frame. So we'll see what the Ducks can do. Again, he's only played one NHL game, and that was in relief. And now he makes his first career NHL start after some time with the Wolves. Sorry, the Calder Cup winning Wolves and the San Jose Barracuda. So we'll see how Eetu Makiniemi fares on this game. All right, we're going to head into the first intermission. But first, I want to talk to you guys about Bet Online, which is the one place that has you covered and the one place that we trust. Bet Online is your number one source for sports betting info, stats, news, and analysis. Get the latest odds and trends from every professional league, including the NBA. There's the NHL. Who's going to win the Hart Trophy? Who's going to get fired next as far as coaches? Who's going to make it to the Stanley Cup final? There's also the NFL. How many had Baker Mayfield leading the Rams to victory last night? How many of you had that? If you did, you would have made a little bit of money. Oh, there's also soccer. Yeah, how about the World Cup right now? Whew. Oh, man. And there's also, by the way, boxing, MMA, all those sports. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to check out all the lines. So head to the website today using either your laptop or your mobile device. BetOnline is where the game starts, and BetOnline is the official online sportsbook of the Locked On Podcast Network. And please, folks, gamble responsibly. Welcome back to Locked On Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. You're locked in with Jason JD Hernandez. All right, so we're going to spend the last two segments not previewing the Sharks-Ducks game because it's a battle for Bedard, folks. Let's be honest here. And speaking of Connor Bedard, you see where I'm going here. Connor Bedard will be playing next at the World Junior Championships. Yeah. You see, I had that planned. Yeah, I did. So the World's Juniors. Let's talk about Team Canada first before going to Team USA. There's a reason I'm leaving that for last. Team Canada, as of right now, have 3 Ducks prospects, probably soon to be 4, likely soon to be 4. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Connor Bedard, future Anaheim Duck. Okay, maybe. I'm manifesting this, all right, folks? That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to manifest this, trying to get Connor Bedard into a Ducks jersey. If the Ducks are tanking this hard, they may as well actually get the number 1 pick, right? Well, if they don't get a Connor Bedard, maybe they can get someone else, like, I don't know, maybe an Adam Fantilli. Oh, yeah, Adam Fantilli. I'll talk about him in a second as well. So we got Connor Bedard, the 2023 NHL draft eligible player, one of the stars of Team Canada. Yeah, that's going to be fun to watch. Oh, and I just mentioned Adam Fantilli, who is also eligible for the 2023 draft. He will also be on Team Canada. So I'm just going to say it. There's 4 future Ducks on this roster, either Fantilli or Connor Bedard. Then you have Nathan Gaucher. You also have Olin Zellweger. Yes. And finally, I'm excited about him. And Tyson Hines. 3 great prospects on Team Canada's WJC roster. If you haven't looked at these top 3 prospects, then you've been missing out. I'm going to start with Nathan Gaucher first because he's been on one recently. I like his game. I liked his game in Quebec last season. I like it a little bit more this season. I finally actually went and saw some of the highlights from Nathan Gaucher this season. And I got to tell you, the mitts are pretty quick. He's already got 29 points in 24 games this year. Looking at a couple of those points that he's had, It is the puck vision that he has, but it's also just the mitts that he has. A great puck handler and also a great stealer. He's already had a couple of points this season where he's had a good forecheck and stole the puck from the defense. So I like him on this roster a lot. I think he's going to bring a lot of talent to this Canada team. I got two guys left, both defensemen. Tyson Hines. Tyson Hines right now playing for Sherbrooke Phoenix. He's had a pretty good go at it so far this season. He's got some good moves, some pretty good skating, like his overall game, good physical game. So far, 28 points in 27 games. Also a point a game guy for Sherbrooke of the Quebec League. He'll also add some much needed size to the defense. He's 6'3", starting to fill out a little bit. Right now, I'd say he's 6'3", $185. Still can fill out his body a little bit more, but I've liked his game so far. And I've left a certain guy for last. Olin Zellweger. Zellweger so far this season has been on one. He has led the entire league, I think, in goals for a defenseman right now. He's got 10 goals, 28 points in 23 games. He's having just as good, if not a better season than last year. Well, that's debatable because the Everett Silvertips as a team aren't as good as last season, but he is trying to will that team to some kind of playoff run. Zellweger this season, this will be his last season in junior. There was some thought that he would possibly contend for a spot on the Ducks roster this season. No such case. Okay, so maybe that'll leave him as a black ace for the San Diego Gulls. Look, the WHL season ends at almost the same time that the AHL season is going to end. So if he winds up being a black ace for the Gulls, he'll get maybe 1 or 2 games, and that might be it. And that's assuming that the Silvertips miss the WHL playoffs altogether. So I don't know if I want to put too much stock into any of the black aces coming in when the season ends. Everett right now is kind of on the edge, but so are the San Diego Gulls. So if we see Olin Zellweger on a pro jersey, it might be in San Diego for 1 or 2 games end of the season. That's it, because the Ducks not going to make the playoffs. The Gulls likely not going to make the playoffs. So that might be it for Olin Zellweger. His season might be done by mid-April, and that's it. That's going to leave him a lot of time over the summer to work on his game and to get a spot on the Anaheim Ducks next season. But in the meantime, he will try to get a gold medal in this year's World Juniors. Can you believe we're only about 3 weeks away from World Juniors? So I will be talking about that more. In about a couple of weeks, I'll talk about World Juniors a bit more on this very podcast. And then I mentioned Connor Bedard and Fantilli. Yeah, one of those guys is going to be an Anaheim Ducks. So the Ducks will have 4 future guys on Team Canada. Will they win gold this season? That remains to be seen. Just for my money personally, Team Canada is stacked this season. They've got one of the better rosters that I've seen in a while. Owen Beck from the Canadiens, he's going to make some noise. Colton Dack for the Chicago Blackhawks. I've liked his game a lot this season. And same with Riley Kidney from Montreal as well. But, you know, don't sleep on some of those Habs prospects. Owen Beck, Joshua Waugh, Riley Kidney. Got some good talent. And then defense. I talked about Tyson Hines already. Talked about Olin Zellweger. But, dang. They got another Blackhawks defenseman prospect. Kevin Korchinski, who I was very high on. I was very high on Korchinski to possibly get drafted by the Ducks on this past draft. But he is still with the Seattle T-Birds. He's also got 28 points as a defenseman this season. That's tied with a certain someone, isn't it? So you have Korchinski and Zellweger on the blue line. And then you have Evan Noyce for the Florida Panthers. They got a stacked team. I would consider them the favorites, the heavy favorites in this year's WJC. So watch out for Team Canada. Now, there's a team that I have not talked about yet for reasons. Yeah, I'll talk about that after the second intermission. Stay locked in. Once again, you're locked in with Jason JD Hernandez on this Friday. That's right. Don't forget there is a Ducks game tonight against the San Jose Sharks. I talked about that in the first segment. Talked about Team Canada in segment 2. Now let's talk about Team USA. Wait, what? The Ducks have no prospects on Team USA this year? None. Okay, so why the crap am I talking about Team USA? Well, for starters, they've got some good talent on their team. They got a Kenny Connors, who's a Kings prospect, supposed to be pretty good. They got a Logan Cooley, who looked good last year. They got Cutter Gauthier. He's pretty good. They got a Cameron Lund. They got some talent. They got a Will Smith. That's 2023 draft eligible. Not that Will Smith. No, not the other Will Smith. No, not that one either. No. Not the Will Smith that slapped someone. No, not the Dodgers catcher either. Not that Will Smith. No, not Will Smith the pitcher who previously pitched for the Giants. No, Will Smith the hockey player. Yeah, he's on Team USA. But there's one... Luke Hughes. Luke Hughes is on that team too. He's supposed to be decent, I guess. There's one name missing on there. There's a very noticeable guy that did not make the roster. That is a big snub. And this is probably the biggest snub of any team in World Juniors this year. Sasha Pastujov did not make Team USA's roster. Now, wait a minute. Didn't he make Team USA last year? Yeah, he did. He did make it last year. In fact, he had 4 points last season in the WJCs. He was expected to have a good role in Team USA this year. Oh, by the way, he's also among the top 3 in all OHL scorers right now. Yeah. And he's been pretty dominant in the OHL this season. Okay, so why the heck did he not make the team? How? How did that happen? I don't know. Only the hires up on the Team USA selection committee, they know. But to me, it's a mystery to me. And I think a mystery to a lot of people too, because he was expected to fill a good role. Maybe not top line, but he was expected to be among the top 6 in Team USA this year. And for him to not make the lineup, that's a big surprise. That's a big shock. Sasha Pastujov this season with, now I want to be proper here, 36 points in about 20, I think it was 24 games. He got traded from the Guelph Storm to the Sarnia Sting. And right now, the Sting are kind of in position for a playoff spot. They kind of are. I think they're probably going to make the playoffs this year. Yeah, 36 points in 23 games. Beg your pardon. 18 goals, 18 assists. He has been nothing short of, I don't want to use the word amazing here, but he's almost averaging 2 points per game since being traded to the Sting. 17 points in only 9 games so far this season, and he didn't make Team USA. Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm very surprised at that. So that's kind of my look as far as Ducks prospects at the WJC this year. Like I said, I will talk about World Juniors more as we get closer to that date. We're about 3 weeks away, less than 3 weeks away from the World Juniors starting up. So be sure to stick around for future episodes of Locked on Anaheim Ducks as I break down further the World Junior Championships. And despite all the crap that happened, just because there's 3, likely 4 future Ducks on their roster, just for the sake of that alone, yeah, I'll be rooting for Team Canada, but aside from all the outside stuff, yeah, you know how I feel about that. Not good. All right. That's going to do it for this particular podcast. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already on YouTube. You could follow the show on Twitter at LO_Ducks. You could follow me personally on Twitter at StimpyJD. This show is pretty much free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Also free on YouTube. And hey, thanks for making this your first listen of the day. And once again, thank you all so much for your continued support. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. For Locked On Anaheim Ducks, I'm Jason JD Hernandez, saying have a great rest of the afternoon. Please continue to be safe out there, be kind to one another, and Ducks fly together.